Are we live? Let me take a quick look. There we go. We are live. Hey guys, what's going on? James here. We're back with actually the first non-game live stream we have done in a long time. It's going to be a short one, right? Okay, it's going to be a short one, but we still have some fun today. We're going to be talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers season is over. And also, I just wanted to live stream on my birthday. I've got a lot of birthday wishes today. Thank you guys so much for that. We got Steven in here, Wayne, Adam, Bucs and Packers in here. Thank you guys so much for the birthday wish. It is greatly appreciated. Today, we're going to be talking about if the Buccaneers season is over. The short answer is no. The long answer is no. I don't know, but probably not. Probably not. We're going to dive into it today. So, happy to have everybody in here. We got JXO in here. We got Tyree in here. And I think an important thing to start off with is the playoff percentages. Okay, now there are like different formulas that are going to have different playoff percentages and whatnot. So that's something to consider as well. Like NFL.com is probably going to have a different formula, but right now, today, you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a 39% chance to make the playoffs during their bye week. Okay, that's not going to go up or down right now. It may go up or down depending on where other teams win and lose and whatnot. Right now, they're the 12th seed in the NFC rankings. Okay, that's by NFL.com. Now, ESPN has the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a 26% chance to make the playoffs, a 15% chance to win the division. Okay, so all things considered, it does look great for playoffs thoughts, right? It does not look great for playoff aspirations for the Bucs. Okay, any way you slice it, they have a 35% chance, a 25% chance, whatever, 31, 26, whatever you want to slice it. It doesn't look great, okay? Now, one thing that a lot of people have been pointing to as to why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to make a run, very similar to the run they made last year, okay? Quite frankly, the Bucs are 4-6 right now, guys. Last year, after week 12, in fact, same time last year, after week 11, they were 4-6 after a loss against San Francisco 49ers. The following week, they lost to the Indianapolis Colts, went 4-7. Okay, so we're a game away from that right now. But they then went on to win 5 out of their last 6 games, went 9-8, won the NFC South with a 9-8 record, and found themselves in the playoffs. Now the Buccaneers find themselves with a 4-6 record. Okay. If, let's say they win let's say they win, how many games do they have left? 7 games. Let's say they win 6 out of their last 7. Well, they're 10-7, right? If that's the same run. If they go all the way and win 7 in a row, well, then they're 11-6. If they, basically win 5, they're 9-8. There's a lot of different ways this can go, but any way you slice it, it has to be a run, right? It has to be a run. They've got to go out there. They've got to win some football games. Kavis, thank you for the $2 super chat, by the way, saying happy birthday, brother. Thank you so much for that. We got Bentley in the chat. We got Kavis. We got everybody in the chat. Thank you guys so much for that. It's greatly appreciated. And look, a lot of people are pointing to the schedule. The Buccaneers have the easiest remaining schedule. They play the Giants, Carolina twice, the Raiders, the Cowboys now without Dak Prescott, the New Orleans Saints. There's a lot of winnable games. Okay, there's a lot of winnable games here. They went toe-to-toe with the 49ers. Almost won. should have won. Went toe-to-toe with the Chiefs, almost won, should have won. Went toe-to-toe with the Atlanta Falcons, lost both, probably should have won at least one of those games, right? This is a team that is not far away from what they could be, which is competing for a playoff spot, right? So in that aspect, no, the season's not over. They still have a chance, okay? They still certainly have a chance to make the playoffs in some way, shape, or form. But here's the thing. They've got to be almost perfect in whatever scenarios are coming up, right? Winning 6 out of your last, or sorry, winning, yeah, be it 6 out of your last 7, be it almost trying to have it to win 7 straight, be it 5 out of your last 6, like that's tough, right? That's tough. You then add on to the fact that I think what makes this so difficult is like you're not really competing to win the division anymore. Because look, you got swept by Atlanta. They're 6-4 right now. And if it was a situation where you at least won one of those games against Atlanta, you still have a chance to win the division, in my opinion. Now you are hoping for an epic, monumental collapse by the Atlanta Falcons to have a chance at winning the division, in my opinion. Because now Atlanta's got 2.5 games up on you, basically. Because they swept you. That's why we talked about when those games were going on, it mattered so much that the Bucs won at least one of those, and they got swept, right? And we've talked about it, where they are. I've given you what I feel like my definition of them has been over the past month and a half. I'm not going to repeat myself, but to be simple, they're a team that cannot close out football games right now, and that's got to change. And I know a lot of people are expecting them to make a run or hoping they can make a run. Ultimately, we'll see. Because I know a lot of people have been saying, well, look, Giants, Panthers twice, Raiders, Cowboys without Dak Prescott, the Saints, they should clean up, right? But based on how the past month and a half has gone, can you expect that confidently anymore? This is a team that has lost some very close games. Very close games. And they've dropped the ball. They can drop the ball again to play devil's advocate. To play devil's advocate here. So it's an interesting question. Now, yes, the Bucs still have chances to make the playoffs, but they've got to play some good ball. They've got to play better than what we've seen. Otherwise, their season's going to be over before they can even try and begin to make this run, right? Right. So you're going to have to see some big changes. Otherwise, the season, it's not over now, but boy, is it on the mend. Boy, is it on the mend. And you're going to have to get better at all the things that we've been discussing for the past month and a half that have been problems. Got to clean it up. One is injuries, as Bri points out in the chat. And to be honest, like, offensively, Liam Cohen's been working around the injuries. He has. Cade Otton stepped up. The running backs have stepped up. The offensive line has stepped up. It's been great. But defensively, it hasn't been enough. The defense has been basically in free fall, in my opinion, in terms of clutch situations, in terms of just overall play in general. And I understand injuries have been happening, but folks, I'm going to tell you this. Vita Vea has been healthy the past couple of weeks. Kalijah Cansey's been healthy the past couple of weeks. Healthier, and they are playing. Levante David's been there. Antoine Winfield Jr.'s been there. Jordan Whitehead has been there. It's not getting the job done right now. We've heard issues with communication. We've seen poor outside cornerback play. They just released Keenan Isaac And that sucked. That sucks. I don't know why they never gave Keenan Isaac a chance. I don't know why they never gave guys like Jose Ramirez. All the pass rushers are healthy, by the way. They're not getting the job done. I don't care if the Buccaneers lead. What was it? Like, I think I saw a stat the Bucs actually lead the NFL in sacks since week 4. Dog, you wouldn't be able to tell. In my opinion, you wouldn't be able to tell. But point being is that things are going to have to improve, right? We're going to have to see better communication. We're going to have to see better play on defense for this team to have any hope of making a run to not have the season be over, right? Because they have a very thin margin for error. I think that this game against the Giants, you've got to win this game. You've got to. You've got to win, again, I think all but, like, one game, guys? Is that fair to say? I don't think you're making the playoffs with a 9-8 record anymore, based on how the rest of the NFC looks this year. I don't even know if you're going to make it with a 10-7 record. You've really got to play perfect ball down the stretch. And that's a tough task. That is a tough task. So if you lose one of these, quote-unquote winnable games against the Giants or the Panthers or the Raiders, it's going to be, or the Chargers, right? It's going to be bad. And that shifts the dynamic yet again, where it's like, oh, okay, now the season's not looking great. It is interesting, man. Pass rush is not bad at all. That narrative is insane. Yeah, I agree with that. Look, people can disagree with me. That's fine. You guys, I watch every game here on the channel, and I don't know nothing about nothing, but just from what I see, the pass rush has been just not good. It's not good. I mean, look, Anthony Nelson's got his contract up after this year. Joe Trine-Shawinka's got his contract up after this year. I think both those guys are gone, in my opinion. I think they're going to be looking for some pass rushers, I believe. I mean, the Bucs are, right now, they're top 10 in sacks right now. I think 6, 7, 8, 9. They're at number 10 exactly. In quarterback knockdowns, they are 8th. In hurries, they're further down. In terms of blitzing, they're the 3rd most blitzing team in the NFL, behind the Vikings and the Broncos, by the way. Both those teams have more quarterback hurries, more quarterback knockdowns, and more sacks than the Bucs. The Bucs actually have 70 missed tackles so far this year, by the way. They're 8th in the NFL in missed tackles, and missed tackled percentage is actually lower, but that also shows the defense has been on the field a lot. And that's going to be like where the linchpin of it is, right? That's going to be like the linchpin of it, is where like that defense to me is the biggest thing that has to improve, that has to rebound here off of that bye week. That's because look, the offense has been serviceable at worst, and good to great at best, okay? Thank you, Mikey. Greatly appreciate it. Really, the defense is the thing that has to rebound. And that's on Bowles, and that's on his defensive coaching staff. It really is. So if they want to make a run, they have got to... If they want to make a run, they have got to make some improvements on defense. Point blank simple as that. How do I feel about Mike Edwards? I talked about it in my video this morning. Good player, right? Kind of goes against what Todd Bowles said. Well, not technically. Because he said we don't need any new players. Well, Mike Edwards isn't a new player. He's an old player who's just coming back. So he's not technically wrong. But I talked about it in terms of like positional need. Well, can he play middle linebacker? Can he play outside corner? Can he play pass rusher? Like, well, no. That's where the Bucs needs lie right now. Which, speaking of, like, why aren't we seeing more hosts? Like, again, I have gone on some talks about the Bucs defense. Like, why aren't we seeing more Jose Ramirez? Why weren't we seeing Keenan Isaac before he got benched? Like, Todd Bowles said, like, hey, Hayes and Funderburk were looking great in practice. Is Keenan Isaac really that much worse? Like, his dog's been getting cooked than Funderburk, because Funderburk was getting cooked in some games, man. No offense to the young player, but geez. What's up, Brandon? Thank you for the birthday wishes. Mikey, thank you for the birthday wishes. Greatly appreciate that. But that's gonna have to be the biggest change here, right? Is, thank you, Picasso. Is that defense to make, otherwise your season is gonna be over. It is gonna be over. And like, does bringing in like Mike Edwards really move the needle that much? In my opinion, no, not really. So that's kind of where my concerns lie. Is, well, this defense is the issue. So unless you're going to be really, really self-scouting and working hard on this defense, then your season's going to be over pretty quickly after, going on this run where you cannot afford to make mistakes. It's going to be over pretty quick for you. Because offensively, look, things are only going to improve. Like, you are going to get Mike Evans back after this bye week. Adding to an offense that's still scoring points, has had some tough situations. But can it be that bad a situation with that middle linebacker just got released? Jacksonville, there was a Jacksonville middle linebacker that got released. I know that there was a linebacker that got released from the Seahawks, but he joined the Miami Dolphins. So, that he got claimed on waivers by the Miami Dolphins. I was hoping the Bucs would have brought him in. They did not. Yeah, that was unfortunate because he went to waivers, and the team that picked him up was literally at the Dolphins, was 4 spots behind the Bucs on waivers. That was unfortunate. That was very unfortunate. I wish the Buccaneers could have had a chance to get him. But they did not even have a chance to get him, so that just sucked. But offensively, I feel like this is an offense that can make a run. I still have questions about that defense. I know everybody does. Everybody has questions about that defense, right? And they should. They should, because this is simple as this. It has been a defense that has not been able to perform. Be it in clutch moments, be it in closing out games. Offensively, you've had a little bit of that. But defensively, they are certainly not helping. Happened twice in those overtime games against the Falcons and Chiefs. I know some people say, well, if the coin toss went the other way, in my mind, like, you can say that, but also get the stop, on defense is also something that can be said there, right? The defense is not without fault. It's not like as soon as the coin toss happened, the Kansas City Chiefs just automatically won the game. You can get a defensive stop and get the ball back for your offense and still win the game, but you got to get a defensive stop. So that it's not that 49ers game. Yes, you kicked it to tie the game, but then your defense also let the 49ers offense go down with 30 seconds left or whatever it was in one timeout, or 40 seconds, let's say, and kick a game-winning 44-yard field goal. That's not great. So to me, that's the unit that has to take that next step. And to be frank, folks, what proof do we have to say that it is going to take that step? Look, Mike Edwards is back. Cool. I mean, Todd Bowles is a safety guy. He loves safeties, so he likes a safety group. But, like, in terms of reinforcements, no outside cornerbacks are coming in. No middle linebackers are coming in. No edge rushers are coming in where you go, okay, maybe this guy can help, right? Unless they start playing a Jose Ramirez a crap ton, which he's been inactive every game this year. Unless they're not, they just released Keenan Isaac. They've tried J.J. Russell, but they play still KJ Britt out the wazoo. It's the decisions that they have had, and maybe that changes in self-scouting. Maybe you say, maybe this positional coaches start saying, let's see what else we've got here. I don't know. But those are the things I'm worried about is, hey, there's no edge rushers right now. There's no outside cornerbacks right now that are coming in to save the day. It is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, like, to be completely, with Todd Bowles saying, like, hey, we don't need new players, I disagree with that. I do disagree with that. Now, I'm not saying you got to go out and change the entire roster. Honestly, I've liked what I've seen from Josh Hayes. Last game, I liked what I saw from Josh Hayes. But I would have signed somebody the first day of the bye week. I would have brought in a new outside corner. I mean, they have Troy Hill. Is he really going to help that much? I would have brought in another veteran just to have them have 2 weeks to learn the playbook. I would have brought in a veteran middle linebacker, give that guy 2 weeks to learn the playbook and say, hey, here's your homework for the bye week. Here's your homework for the game week, right? That's what I would have done, and it wasn't done. And I disagree with that mentality, And I probably would have brought in a veteran pass rusher. I would have made a couple of roster changes. Not a ton, just bringing in 3 new guys, but and it's not like you're beating up the world, like going, we're getting Hassan Reddick. No, obviously not, but some veteran, right? It's just, that's what I would have done. So to say, and in my opinion, to say, well, we don't need new players, the guys just have to play better. I mean, I disagree with that because it's like, well, thank you, Giuseppe. I greatly appreciate that. I disagree with that because it's like, look, what proof do we have that these players that are here in some positions have played well? What proof do we have that KJ Britt has played well this year? What proof do we have that Thunderberg has been a consistent, strong player this year? We don't have much proof of that. So it's interesting to me. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. And again, I'm going to reiterate this point because it is the linchpin for this. They need to improve on defense. Now, that's a lot of things. That's tackling, that's coverage, that's communication, especially. I think communication is down between the coaching staff and the players. I think communication is down between the players and the players. It's been a bad run of communication, a bad run of communication. And that needs to improve, and I hope that they come to that conclusion from self-scouting this week, this bye week. I hope they come to that conclusion to say, whoa, okay, positional coaches or Larry Foote and Casey Rogers, or even me and Todd Bowles, whatever it is, something's got to change here with communication. Because for Bowles to say, like, hey, everything's communicated and guys are still not getting the message, well, that's a problem. That's a problem. And that's a big problem. It's a live stream. We're live. Thank you, Dragon Sky. Appreciate that. And yeah, that's kind of the point we're talking about. Is, hey, unless they win out, guys, even at 10-7, it's not a guarantee they're going to make the playoffs, right? And And I don't mean that even in like a super pessimistic, whoa, James, you're being so negative type of way. Like, that's just the reality of it. The NFC South has been cooking. The NFC East has been cooking in some situations. The Eagles and Panthers are cooking. Or the Eagles and, Commanders are cooking. Sorry, folks. I mean, look, like let's just take a look at this. The Commanders are 7-4. The Vikings 6-2. Vikings 7-2. Packers 6-3. 49ers 5-4. Rams, Seahawks 4-5. Like there are plenty of teams right now. The only teams that are worse than the Bucs in the NFC playoff standings, the Bucs are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spots away from a third wild card spot. Okay, that's tough. They're 2 games behind the Commanders. They're 3 games behind the Commanders, 2 games behind the Packers. It's a tough run. It's a tough run. Yes, they can still win the division, but the Falcons are 2.5 games ahead of the two. They swept them. That's not good. They're 4-1 in division play right now. That is also not good. The Bucs need to win. There are 3 division games against the 2 against Panthers and the Saints to go 4-2 in the division this year. And the Falcons need to have a collapse. That's what needs to happen for them to win the division. Simple as that. That's what needs to happen for them to win the division, okay? But let's not even think, because if we're of the mindset of the Bucs aren't going to win the division, okay, let's table that real quick and then say, what about wild card? It's a tough spot for the wild card too. It's not like the lowest seed AFC, like the lowest seed AFC team is 5-5. The Bucs would only be 1 game back. No way, man. The NFC is competing this year. They are competing this year. And it's tough for the Bucs to they're still in the mix, but they are low in that mix. Again, Seahawks, Rams, Bears, 49ers are all above them in the NFC playing right now. And none of those guys are even a wild card team right now. So it's just it's brutal, man. It's brutal to look at. It's going to have to be one heck of a run. And you have to ask that question of can lightning strike twice? Can lightning strike twice? Can the Bucs make a magical run? Like, should you expect that? Because look, happened last year, miraculous, in my opinion. Great turnaround. You love to see that, right? But to hope for it twice and to have that be the expectation twice, that's a tough ask. That is a tough ask, man. And I know a lot of you agree with that. That's a tough ask. I know that they play we talked about it. They play the Panthers twice. They play the Saints. They play the Cowboys without Dak. They play the Giants and Raiders and whatnot. But like playing those teams and saying they should win most of those games is one thing. Playing those games and saying they need to win all of those games is another thing. Because that's where they're at. They need. It's not like they should. They need to. They need to. Right? They need to play perfect down the stretch. Okay? And that is a lot to ask. A lot to ask at the NFL. Because teams do drop games that they shouldn't win. We've seen it a lot. Or teams do drop games that they should win. We've seen it like 3 or 4 times with the Bucs already this year. It can happen to any against any team. It can. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm excited. I think that they will win majority of their games going down the stretch, but will they win enough to make the playoffs? We'll see. We'll see. Guys, it's been fun here going live for about a half hour here on my birthday. I don't really have much else to say besides just, hey, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the birthday wishes. It's greatly appreciated. And the Bucs have a long road ahead of them, right? They do. They do. But I did want to... what are the odds and chances a team can make the same run twice? Yeah, twice in 2 years. That's not... do it once, that's phenomenal. Do it twice, that's by near impossible. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm excited. I'm intrigued. I'm happy to see them try and get it done. Thank you to everybody: Giuseppe, Chris, Chance, Jennifer. As Jennifer said, guys, hit the like button before you head out. That'd be greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you guys are new as well. I'd love that as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. As always, guys, I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, see you soon, and go Bucs.